Hey guys, I ran across another video that I'd like to share with you. It's a mirror from a channel called NASA's Deception, and I found them through IG. I follow another account called Enemy of the Media, and it was a suggested page. You know, if you follow certain pages, they give you page suggestions, and that's how I found it. I just started following that account, and they had posted this video. And I watched it, and there's a portion of it I'd like to share with you. The full video was about 28 minutes long, and I'm probably sharing maybe 4.5 minutes of it. And I'm going to be leaving the link. So if you want, you can head over and watch the entire thing. And I usually don't do mirrors, but I've been doing quite a few here lately. But you're probably wondering, why am I even focusing on this right now? Because I shared another video from another channel last week about the shape of the earth, so to speak. And it's like, with everything going on, like, why are you sharing this stuff right now? Why is this important? Well, I think it's important for several reasons. One, because it's a huge deception. A huge, I would say one of the biggest, if not the biggest deceptions that all of us at one point or another fell for. I personally didn't give any attention at all to it until about 6 months ago, maybe. That's a guesstimated time frame. So not very long. And I was one that, if I even heard the term flat earth, it would trigger me. It would trigger that cognitive dissonance, I guess you could say. That programming that I had bought into and believed my whole life. And just that term would trigger me. And I would get angry. And I couldn't even explain why I would get so angry. But I would just call them idiots and call them stupid and get mad, and like I just have this anger welling up in me and not even understand why I was getting so angry. But I think trigger is a perfect word, because that's what it did. And I wasn't even looking into, when I decided to stop and, you know, be more open-minded and start leaning more toward we've been lied to on that aspect. It wasn't even a conscious decision, and I didn't even start going off and researching it. It's just something that happened. I can't really explain it. And that anger dissipated, and I wasn't mad anymore. And then things were just being put in my lap. I wasn't going out looking for them. And it was just things were being put in my lap. And the anger started to dissipate, and I started to look into it, little few things here and there. And I just knew in my heart, wow. I can't really describe the journey I've been on. It's hard to put into words. And so I know for a fact that we have been lied to. And I'm kind of at the point that Tim at Restore the Republic 76, a lot of you guys know who he is. You came from his channel. I'm kind of where he is. I'm not taking a definitive stance on what shape the earth is. I'm not saying it's flat. I'm not saying it's a sphere. I'm not saying it's anything. I'm saying that we have been lied to. And I'm at the point right now where I don't know what shape the earth is. And I'm not going to take a hardline stance on flat earth just like I took a hardline stance on globe earth. I'm not going to do that, because I'm coming out of that. And to come out of that and then just take a hardline stance on the other, to me personally, now this, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but this is just my initial feeling about doing that. It's almost like the left-right paradigm. You're either Republican or you're Democrat, or you're liberal or you're conservative. You're either globe earth or you're flat earth. To me, it's taking that hardline stance on the opposite side. So it kind of reminds me of the left-right paradigm. Now, I'm not saying that the flat earth model is not real. What I'm saying is I'm not ready to take a hardline stance. I don't know what the hell it is. But I can tell you for a fact and for sure that it's not what we have been led to believe. So if you're one of those that is a globe earther and you believe everything NASA puts out there, then just stop, have an open mind, and maybe start looking into some other possibilities. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm not pointing in either direction. I'm just saying to have an open mind and maybe start looking into some other viewpoints. That's all I'm saying. Another reason why I find this important, not only because it's one of the great deceptions of our life, but it also tends to lead people away from God. There was a series on History Channel years ago, Ancient Aliens, and you hear people talking about Anunnaki, Pleiadians, or however you say that, and the whole starseed thing, and we were created by these alien entities, and on and on and on. I'm not going to get into that. That's not my line of expertise and research. But I will say that that's exactly what it does. It opens people up to turning away from the true God and creation. Okay, you're going to hear a change in the audio right here. I can't cut it out because it's part of the same audio recording. So bear with me. I'm having trouble recording today for some reason. But the whole idea of the vast space and universe and galaxies inside of universe, and we couldn't possibly be alone. There's no way that we're the only created beings. Well, when you believe the space lie and the NASA model and everything we've been taught to believe, then it would make sense to follow that line of thought, would it not? And does that not lead us away from the true God and the truth? Oh, I believe it does. And it also opens us wide open for one of the possible deceptions that's coming. The alien invasion, the alien deception. You already see it now. They're talking about it. The government's talking about it. The military's talking about it. They're having all these videos about these UFOs, and it's opening us up to it. It's leading the way for the deception. And I know a lot of you have heard of Project Bluebeam, but that's why I'm sharing these videos, because it all ties together. The shape of the earth, whether there's space or not, whether we're alone in the universe or not, leads people away from the truth, the real creative. And so that's why I think it's important. So again, open up your mind and explore other possibilities. It's not what they're telling us. It's not what we've been led to believe. So without further ado, and without me yabbering on more and more, let's roll it.
Thousands of satellites supposedly orbiting the Earth. Why can't we get thousands of pictures? One shot with the whole Earth in it. We should have a channel on cable that shows the Earth rotating 24 hours a day, every day. Nope. Let's listen to NASA's very own Robert Simmons talk about how we get our fake pictures of Earth.
Last week, scientists at NASA released this. The shot is compiled from data from NASA's VEERS instrument, which orbits the Earth about every 100 minutes, taking measurements of light coming off the planet. That can be translated into ribbons of imagery like this, and then into one of these. And this is just the latest in NASA's Earth from Space album, which may be one of the most mind-expanding collections of images in human history. Then in 2002, Blue Marble 2.0, NASA's Rob Simmons made this. Simmons' job is...
It's primarily taking data and making pictures out of it.
That's what this is, a composite of data sets from several different instruments translated into a picture.
So we actually had to take clouds out.
They stashed the clouds for later, went onto the ocean. That came from an instrument that measures phytoplankton in the sea.
Where it was low, I colored it dark blue because they're low mostly in mid-oceans. And then where it was a little bit higher, it was like a little bit brighter green.
Then add the clouds back in.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit.
So some of those are painted on.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Then
there was another layer to sort of simulate the atmosphere.
And then there's this little bright spot.
It's called the specular highlight. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water.
Those are the pieces, but you can't just slap them all together.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of too see-through. So I just hit Command Z a lot.
There's artistry to creating the world.
What I imagine it to be. Unfortunately, I'm not an astronaut. I've never been to space. But I've looked at these images over and over again, trying to sort of get the essence of it. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
So there I was, just minding my own business, looking at Google Earth, and this big snow-covered monstrosity is staring me in the face like, why is that covered in snow? I look into Ireland and some other areas around it, Iceland. Ireland gets snow only once a year, 1 day a year. So I keep digging a little bit deeper, and I finally get underneath this cloud cover here, and a few images pop up. And I say, oh, images, what are they? Well, this is what you got, which I'm sure that looks familiar to you, right? Looks just like the pictures they give us of Mars. So I'm just kind of creeping around here and definitely noticing the same kind of undulation changes and same kind of rock, same kind of dirt. Only thing that's missing is that nice little red tint that they pay somebody $150,000 a year to put on there. But those mountains, those rocks, definitely exactly like we see on Mars. So I said, I wonder what they're doing out here. What is all this equipment for? I'm sure it can't be NASA, right? Whose orange Hummer is this? Okay, that looks like a NASA symbol. Well, let's dig a little further because I can't really see anything on here other than it certainly looks like a NASA symbol. And I can't read that. Tried. So this one here said, roving the Arctic. So what is that? Doesn't make any sense. So pop in here. See if we can find anything. Again, same kind of mountains. That looks like the same kind of water I've seen before that I thought was water on Mars. Who knows? Zoom in. What's that? Oh, nothing. Just looked like it was funny. So I'll keep kind of going through here and see if it... What the... Yeah. So, I think I found out where Mars is, guys. It's just about 1,000 miles north of me. Not quite the distance that NASA says, but I can't find anybody who's in charge of this. They must be hiding behind these rocks. Oh no, there they are out in front of everybody, just standing there. Lovely. Clown number 1, clown number 2, and clown number 3. Yeah, this is very empty here. Oh, there's one of those ATVs. All right, now we're on to something. Oh, I got another truck. Oh yeah, it says NASA. What's that say? Mars Project?
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
Years ago, I meant to put this with the original audio at the beginning of the video, but after I had to re-record that several times, I forgot to add it in to my edit. But years ago, when I was on Facebook, there was a husband and wife team that used to be investigators for the paranormal, and they specialized in aliens and alien abductions. And they would go around and interview people and get their accounts of their alien abductions and their attempted alien abductions. And they became Christians. And they were pouring through some of their old archives and old interviews, and they were noticing a commonality in some of the stories. And the believers, when these things would happen, would call on the name of Jesus. And when they would call on the name of Jesus, these attacks would stop. The abduction attempts would stop. And they would come back into consciousness or awake or whatever. And they would be back in their beds or in their rooms after they called on the name of Jesus. And they noticed this in every account where it would stop, that was what was happening and what was taking place. And so they made a whole ministry. And were telling people the truth and spreading the gospel. And it was really amazing. And years later, I've tried to find the name of those investigators that became Christians. And I've looked everywhere, and I can't find them. I don't remember their names. I want to say their last name was Rhodes, Rhodes, but I'm not for sure on that. And they had made a ministry and had named the ministry, and I cannot find it. I cannot remember the name. So if anybody out there knows what I'm talking about and can point me in that direction, I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, guys, take care and be safe out there.